The Portland real estate market saw some surprising surges in both the average sale price and in buyer demand. All this with no thanks to interest rates. Let's take a look at the stats and trends. For the second week in a row, the average sale price has come in higher than the previous week at about 4% higher than what we were seeing last year at this time. 3.9% and 4.2% higher over the past couple weeks. That's a switch from pretty much flat numbers that we've been seeing through January and at the start of February. And it looks like this might be the start of a new trend, maybe with the market bottoming out in mid-February and starting our typical spring rise in sale prices. The supply of homes for buyers to choose from was pretty much flat, with a very slight increase of about 1% from the previous week. The number of homes that hit the for sale market this last week was down from the previous week, but still more than we saw last year at this time. What hasn't changed is the supply and demand dynamic that we've been following over the last couple of months. Once again, the number of new contracts agreed to by buyers and sellers outpaced the number of new listings by about 570 to 418. In addition to that, buyer demand has been stronger than last year at this time by about 3 weeks straight now. A number that we're watching that could be a cause for concern when it comes to buyer demand is the low number of lockbox opens, which is one of our measures of serious buyer activity in the market. Buyers out looking at homes with their agents. That number has been consistently low, below last year's number by like 20 to 25% over the last couple of weeks. That means that the pool of potential buyers that we're working with this last year hasn't been as deep this last year as last year this time, and it may not take us as far as it typically does through our spring buying season. The other option, of course, is that our spring buying season is simply taking longer to kick into gear. It's certainly been kind of cold out there, and we normally like to see a couple of nice weeks of sunny, warm weather in the Portland metro area to kick off that buying season. Kind of wake people up and get them out there looking at homes again. Either way, that's a number we'll be keeping a close eye on, and of course, I will keep you informed. Still, no real change in the number of foreclosure or pre-foreclosure homes on the market. The numbers that we have here are the numbers that we've pretty much been seeing over the past year now, give or take a few. We're looking at about 75 distressed properties on the market out of a total of more than 6,800 homes, active and pending. So not a whole lot. The positive movement we saw in the average sale price and buyer demand were no thanks to mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are still higher than they were last year at this time, and they still haven't moved much this last week. On Thursday morning, the best rate I saw was 6.5% for the 30-year fixed. Again, that's the best case scenario with most lenders, probably at 7% or higher. And that's pretty much what we've been seeing over the last 2 or 3 weeks now. So, some interesting developments this week and probably more en route in the weeks to come. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss any future updates. Please give the video a like if you enjoyed the content. I'd really appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and I will see you right here next week.